really like to have you online. So I'd like to welcome our YouTube folks as well. And thanks for joining us. I'm Meteorologist Robert Forgit, and nice to have you for the work week forecast for Alaska. So right now you're looking at downtown Anchorage. Downtown Anchorage is in the back there. You see the blinking light, that big tower almost just in the front, and that's Anchorage in the background there. And we have seen some very cloudy and snowy weather. And as we take a look, this is looking down from Arctic Valley, and you can see that is our city way in the back there with clouds still over us, expecting that to clear up overnight. And then tomorrow we have another system coming in. So I'd like to go ahead and get started with our forecast. We'll start off and give you just a quick overview of what happened in the last 24 hours and today, and then we'll go to the forecast, show you what's going to happen tomorrow. So right now, that's what we're looking at, and we are looking at, this is rather warm for us. As we take a look at the temperature, we're seeing 13 degrees. That is our high. Hey, Dave, good to see you. Hey, we're looking at 13 degrees. Winds are calm, so not too much to speak of. And we'll go ahead and look and see what we had for the almanac. 13 is our high, and 2 is our low. 25 normally, and 14. Record 45. Set back in 1977. I want to point out something to you, and what I want to point out is we've had 5.3 inches of snow, and with that, we are at 6.2 inches for this time period. 6.2 inches for the month of February, and that's pretty darn good. Ryan, hello, nice to have you join us. So as we go ahead, Anchorage snowfall, let's look at these totals, and pretty impressive. 111.2 inches for the season, which starts July 1st and continues on through the next year to July 1st. Last year to date, we were at 70.1 inches here in Anchorage. And Marie, nice to have you join us. Martha, welcome back. Nice to have you. Good evening to you. 51 is our normal to date type of snow that we have. And for February, we're at 6.2 already. And it's only the 4th, so indeed we're starting to see that snow. With that, let's go on and take a look at the forecast for Anchorage tonight. We are looking for cloudy skies, breaking up a little bit, and those temperatures maybe between 5 and 10 through town. Winds will be west at 5 miles per hour. Andrea, we might have a little snow for you. Davis, thanks for joining us. Yes, I know, the snow continues. I got it. Hey, our daylight today, 9:12 a.m. set at 5:15 p.m. Look at that. We broke 8 hours, and now we're at 8 hours and 2 minutes for 5 minutes and 23 seconds. Yes, we're on our way, aren't we? So, Davis, thanks for joining us. I hope everything's going well. And I want to do our first factoid for tonight. It has to do with Punxsutawney Phil. You know, we had him not see his shadow. It's calling for an early spring. So which Groundhog Day was celebrated on Friday? Was it the 101st, 115th, 138th, or 155th? What do you think? Angela, hello from Nome. Thanks for joining us. Andrea, yes, she wants more snow. So go ahead and take a guess. A, B, C, or D, 101st, 115th, 138th, 155th. I'll have another factoid at the end of the broadcast as well, but I like to get one in the beginning, one at the end. What do you think? Which year was this celebrated here? It's the last Groundhog Day. Was it the 101st Groundhog Day they celebrated, or one of the other ones? Okay, I got A with Gretchen. Thank you, Gretchen. You're saying 101st. That's good. So I don't know if you've ever been to Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, but ever since Groundhog Day, the movie with Bill Murray, a lot of people go and watch that whole routine, bringing out the groundhog. Originally, it was a badger and a hedgehog. It had German origins, and it was brought by the Dutch in Pennsylvania, the German tradition. And so they didn't have any hedgehogs, but they certainly found a groundhog. So that's where that comes from. All right, we're going to go ahead and give the answer soon here. So Angela, she says hello from Nome. Gretchen going with A. Andrea, C, 138. Hey, if you're joining us, please let us know where you're from. So Andrea's going with C, yep. And love to know, especially if you're out of state, where you're from, and nice to have you watching the weather. So we're going to go through this one pretty quick because I've got a lot to talk about tonight. So I'll give it maybe another 30 seconds. Puxatawny Phil didn't see a shadow, and as a result, they're calling for an early spring. We could use an early spring up here. Soldotna, thanks. And this was and I'm going to go ahead and give the answer now, and we'll have another one at the end of the show. The answer is, here it goes, 138th, and again, German tradition of Candlemas, which is on February 2nd. It was originally Hedgehog Day. So that's it. Sarah, she is hoping for a warmer spring. I'm hoping for a nice summer, too. Last summer, we had a lot of rain. It was cold, too, in Seward. 49 degrees on July 4th for the Mountain Marathon race, and raining. It was cold pretty much the whole season. Hoping it's going to be warmer this year. I think it will be. And with that, let's go ahead and talk about what we're seeing. Right now, 13 degrees here, 6 and cloudy in Fairbanks. We're looking at 9 below in Deadhorse, 0 in Uktiavik. That's actually pretty good temperature. 36 in Juneau, seeing a little bit of snow. Yakutat seeing some rain, 35. On the Aleutian Chain in the 30s, but windy there. And Kodiak seeing some mostly cloudy skies and 32 degrees. Want to show the difference in temperature. I talked about the temperature change last night on the air. I talked about it at 5 o'clock. I'm going to talk about it again. This is the temperature change from 5 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So it is 34 degrees warmer right now in Fairbanks than it was this time last night. 24 in McGrath, 25 degrees warmer in Northway. And for us, we're at 15 degrees warmer. It's even warmer in Juneau, 10 degrees warmer. Marfa, nice to have you, St. Paul Island, I know. Hoping a good fishing season, lots of berries this year. Angela would like that. I would too. I don't do much berry picking, but I sure do like to do the salmon fishing. That's good. So, hey, Lacey, good to have you from J-Bear. Hey, let's go ahead and look. So I've got number 1 that's faded. That was the system that pushed through today. Now, if you notice, this low pressure system way out in the Bering, its associated front is what I'm calling the second system that's going to arrive sometime tomorrow afternoon and evening. And as we move this forward, this is at 1:30, chance of snow coming up the inlet again for us, maybe about 2 to 4 inches in Anchorage, a little bit more in the Kenai. It's going to push through rapidly, and by Tuesday, we're back to some rather clearer skies. And Grace, thanks for joining us. So fish on. Yeah, you're right, Craig. I like fishing, man. I like my salmon fishing, especially silvers. I love the way they fight. There's a third system that's going to be coming up, and by Wednesday or so, that should be pushing through. But notice it doesn't have a lot of support. It's going to probably fall apart and not produce much in the way of any moisture. The big takeaway from this, as I mentioned at 5 o'clock, the show tonight, is all this is warmer air that's pushing that high pressure and the colder air up towards the Arctic again. So that's important to know. So, hey, let's go ahead and see what we do have. And snow totals for the next 48 hours are a little bit lighter. We're looking at about 1 to 2 for Anchorage, Trace for Wasilla, Palmer. Could get 6 to 9 in Seward, but that's mainly in the passes, not in Seward proper. And we're looking at about 1 to 2 inches in Cordova. Again, we had a little over 5 inches of snow here in Anchorage officially at the airport. Higher amounts on the hillside last night and through today. And that gives us a little over 6 inches for the month of February. Not too much in the way of active weather. We do have some winter weather advisories. Cordova, Tyler, thanks for joining us. And we do have some wind chill advisors, as we always do in the interior for this time of year. It doesn't take much to get cold. Those winter weather advisories for the Southwest will probably be canceled as we get into tomorrow. There's nothing to speak of in the way of any weather alerts for the Southeast Panhandle, and that's a first. Haven't seen that in a while. Point Hope, nice to have you. So, yeah, I used to live in Connecticut myself, Andre. I went to school there, and Connecticut has that cold winter. I like these kind of drier winters with the nice soft snow, and much prefer Alaska over Connecticut when it comes to the winter weather. Hey, let's look at the forecast. Southeast Panhandle, yep, no watches and warnings, temperatures in the 30s. We'll see a little bit of sun with some scattered snow showers. Skagway and also Yakutat, look for mostly snow changing over to a little bit of rain as those temperatures warm up. As we're going in the interior, freezing fog again and warmer. got the Kuskokwim sled dog race right now, and boy, I tell you what, they were riding in fog, and today it's been rather foggy in Fairbanks, Fort Yukon. We'll see the same thing tomorrow as well as Fairbanks, but -1 is awfully warm compared to what we were talking about 24 hours ago. So let's go ahead and look and see what's happening in the North Slope, and it's freezing fog. Looking at temperatures right around 0. -1 is the high for Utqiagvik, and Atuvik Pass going to see 0. So, yeah. And as we look, we are looking at the western Alaska. And Claire, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being with us. We're going to see scattered snow showers, and with that, look for some windy conditions in Bethel and also Gamble. Gamble, you'll see some blowing snow with gusts of 45 miles an hour and a cold 6 degrees as your high. But again, these temperatures are much warmer than they were relatively speaking to the beginning and middle of last week. Notice the winds out in the Aleutians looking at gusts into 70 miles an hour, and we'll see 55 miles an hour on Alaska, Cold Bay, 45 mile an hour gusts. It'll be windy and wet, most of it in the form of snow and mixed rain and snow. St. Paul, 55 mile an hour gust for you, and Dillingham going to look for some windy conditions. Those winds out of the southeast, 15 to 20. Want to mention to all of you that are watching is, we're forecasting for a whole day. So a lot of times the winds do shift, as they will, with the systems that come in. So southeast 15 to 20 for Dillingham might be in the morning, and then it'll shift more towards the south. But we just don't have enough space or time to talk about the whole day. So I kind of look and take the best of the day, the highlights of the day, which could be in the afternoon or in the morning, with, of course, some significant changes that can occur over 24 hours. So a lot of times you'll look and go, hey, it's not coming from the south, but that's because it was coming from the south earlier, or it's going to happen later in the day, and we just can't address all that with everything going on. So taking a look as we get out of the Aleutians and going to the Kenai Peninsula, we are looking for, again, some afternoon snow possibilities for the Kenai, but Kodiak, the system's already passed, and looking at a little bit of scattered snow showers in the morning, but then sunshine, high of 40 degrees. And we'll see Seward, a little bit of sunshine, 24, not sunshine, snow. Soldotna with snow, and Kenai and Homer. Again, chance of some afternoon snow and evening snow. Warmer in the Prince William Sound Copper River Basin with 0 for Glen Allen, 34 for Cordova. And Valdez and Whittier should see some snow. Could be about 5 to 9 inches just in the Whittier-Girdwood area, but I don't think it's going to be that high in this next batch of snow. A little bit of snow expected in Talkeetna and Willow. That's what we're going to look at. And also in Wasilla and Palmer, looking at mostly sunny skies, but could have a few scattered snow showers. So we'll see exactly what happens. Afternoon and evening snow possibilities for Anchorage. Our high going to be 19 tomorrow, and our low tonight about 5 to 10. And Girdwood should be a nice day to ski. Might have a little bit of sunshine breakout in the mornings before the snow falls. So that'd be pretty nice. You won't have that flat light. It's hard to ski in flat light, especially when there's hardly any trees. So get out there and still enjoy that powder. It's a lot of it. Hey, let's do the next factoid. And if you watched the show last night, this was my factoid. It has to do with this month. It's Black History Month, so let's go ahead and see what we've got. And here it is, Black History Month in the U.S. and Canada is in February. The United Kingdom, Netherlands, and Ireland, they celebrate it in a different month. Is it October, November, September, or August? Go ahead and take your guess. I'd like to see it on Facebook. Take some guesses. Is it October, November, September, or August for our folks in the European Union? They go ahead and celebrate that. So love to see what you have to do. So our friends in Europe, United Kingdom, Netherlands, and Ireland, when do they celebrate Black History Month? For us, it's this month, as well as Canada. We celebrate at the same time. Take a guess, October, November, September, or August, A, B, C, or D. October, November, September, August. Haven't seen anybody brave enough to put an answer down yet. We'll see what they come up with. Let's go ahead and, while we're waiting to get some answers, want to go ahead and look outside. Beautiful night for us, and it is nice to start to see a little bit of the activity where we're getting a little bit of light into the 6 o'clock hour. Andrea comes up with A. Tyler's going with B. So we've got October A and B for November for Tyler. Julie, yeah, A, October. Nice to have you on board, Julie. Appreciate you watching tonight. Martha, she hasn't had a chance yet. Andrea's going with October. So we've got Wilson. Hey, nice to have you, Wilson. You went with B. That's good. See what happens. Annette's going with A. Got a lot of people guessing on this. So, yeah, we had a pretty nice night tonight. Things have calmed down a little bit after the snow. Annette, again, going with A. October, November, September, August. Which one do you think it is? So, Martha coming in with October. Great. Good to have all of you. If you're from out of state, love to know where you're from. We've had people from South America, from Europe, over in the Philippines a couple weeks ago. Cheryl's going with A, October. Thanks, Cheryl. Brandon from Wasilla and going with November. Thanks, Brandon, for your guess. No one's picking September and August. Wonder why. So looks like October and November are the two that are right now leading the pack. And I'm going to give the answer here quickly so we can get to the 7-day forecast, and we'll see what transpires here. I'll give you about another 30 seconds. Another 30 seconds. So for those of you just joining us, we are here in Anchorage, Alaska, giving you the Alaska Workweek forecast, and we're here every Sunday usually. At least if I'm working, I'll do a Sunday forecast, and if something is happening that's very significant, the weather team is always on Facebook and, of course, all the social media that we have. So, okay, let's go ahead and give the answer. And Black History Month in the U.S. and Canada is in February. The United Kingdom, Netherlands, and Ireland is celebrated when? And from Illinois, we got October. From Louis, I think it's Louise, and Rachel's going with D. Let's see if you're right. Answer is? It is A. And again, it was President Gerald Ford that officially went ahead and recognized Black History Month as an official occasion, and that was in 1976. Hey, we're going to go ahead and do the 7-day forecast, and here's what we're looking at for Anchorage. Again, a chance of some PM snow, 19 the high tomorrow, 11 the low, 22 clouds and sun expected on Tuesday. Might get a little dose of snow on Wednesday, but temperatures will be just about normal, and those temperatures being in the mid-20s at the nighttime lows in the mid-teens. So we are starting to get back to normal, and that's a really good thing, and certainly fun to have it. Yeah, thanks, Wilson, for joining us. Appreciate that. 22 degrees is really good for where you're living. Brandon, learned something. That's good. Stephanie, heat wave. Yeah, basically it is a heat wave. So, hey, it was nice to have you with me tonight. Hope that you enjoyed a little bit of some trivia on the Forgit Factoids, and I really appreciate when you watch. We had quite a big viewership last Sunday. Almost 28,000 of you watched the forecast, and I appreciate that. So with that, I hope you have a great week. It should be warmer throughout much of Alaska this week, which would be awesome. We'll get a little bit of sunshine in there too and get out and play again. We're going to do some fat biking this weekend, but it was just too darn cold. And get out there this week. It'll be a lot of fun. So with that, I hope you have a great week. Be kind to everyone who's around you, and be kind to yourself. That's the most important. Be kind to yourself and do something nice for yourself this week. You deserve it. So with that, have a great night.